Right, here we are at Redcliffe Aerodrome, about to have lunch with a whole lot of women in aviation. Yay! The Australian Women's Pilots Association is having a lunch here today, and yeah, it's a great opportunity to get together with other female pilots and share stories and talk about what we fly and where we fly and just encourage each other. You know, because it is a male-dominated industry, this one, and I always am a fan of encouraging other women in aviation. So yes, we have a special guest today coming, which is Catriona Rowntree from Getaway. Yes, Catriona Rowntree is coming here. So she actually learnt to fly here at Advanced Aviation Training a few years ago, and yeah, and she did her first solo here and so forth. So she's coming today, and that should be fun. So let's go check it out. Let's go. Yeah, you were awesome. Okay, I'm here sitting here at the Australian Women's Pilots Association meeting, and I'm meeting these lovely lady pilots here. And they're just going to tell us a little bit about what they fly, where they fly, how they got into flying. So
right now I fly at Redcliffe at AAT over here. I fly Dizzy, the Cessna 172 Delta Hill Zulu. It's very fun. I study part-time and I work full-time. When I was in primary school, I was in Air Force Cadets, and I guess that's what really pushed me as well. I did my first flight through them. I got a scholarship, and I flied in Redcliffe for the first time when I was 16. So yeah, I did go to Archerfield at Bassett, and I got my RPL through them. So now I'm starting to do my PPL through these guys, and I'm so excited about that.
how old are you?
I am 22 at the moment.
22. Come round to this lovely, who wants to go next? Tell us, what's your name? Where did you do your first solo?
So I'm Maddie, and I wanted to be a pilot since I was 13, and I came from like a bit of like a rough background, so I kind of had to push for everything myself. And then I convinced Child Safety to enroll me into Miller College because I wanted to go to the Aerospace Gateway program. So I moved from Gympie to here just to do the Aerospace Gateway program because I was so determined to become a pilot, and I did about 12 hours flying.
And that's where you're at now. So you haven't done the first solo yet?
No, I haven't done it yet, but I'm like ready to jump back in. It's been like 2 or 3 years since I've last flown, but now I'm like determined and I'm back on track to like.
Great. So we should stay tuned and see you in a couple of years. And we have these two lovely ladies here. I'll come over, we'll go around here. What was your name?
I'm Sakina.
And she is just about to do her CPL. Well, she started the theory, right?
So I've done like 6 CPL exams. Yeah, it's very intense, but you know, we love it. I've only got one exam left.
Amazing.
And then
so you passed all the exams?
yeah, it's all done.
You must be smart.
Oh, thank you.
So I've heard that you fail them a lot. You just got to keep going, and it's really hard to pass.
Well, like I've had some failures as well in my life, just like aviation as well. But it happens. I guess I've got to learn from it. So yeah, it's really good.
And what are you flying at the moment?
Piper Archers at the moment. But yeah, so at Bassett we just fly Piper Archers like from RPL, PPL, and then we fly Cessnas in CPL. And then we've got multi-engine that's coming up later. But we do all our instrument ratings all in the Piper Archers as well.
Amazing. And she's doing her first night solo on Tuesday, which I'm like, we've been chatting about flying at night. I've never done it, and I've always wanted to do it because my plane has night rating, but I just was a bit nervous that I might not get the angles right. And I think it's amazing that she's just about to do it.
Definitely. I'm really excited. Well, we have like 3 hours of dual, and then on Monday night, and then I'm doing my solo on Tuesday night, so it's going to be really exciting.
She's amazing. She's awesome. And she's got no one in her family that flies, so she's just had a passion for flying and thought she'll do it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm the first one in the bloodline, I guess.
Yeah. For anyone out there who has any girls or any young people that want to, learn to fly, just go for it. She's a testimony to that. And what's your end game? Do you want to work for a big airline?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm planning to like start with like little things, charter and everything. Get my
hours. Go rural?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to like move around Australia. It doesn't really matter as long as I get a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really want to get into the airlines at the end. Yeah.
Well, thanks for chatting with us. Thank you. Okay. Right, here we go.
Bye.
this lovely lady. Okay, so in one of my videos, you'll have seen me with my friend. I passed the foxbat in front of me. This is a young lady who was in that plane who has done her first solo, which is very exciting. Do you want to tell us about that solo?
Yeah. It was so exciting. Like, I honestly couldn't believe where I was and what I was doing. It'd been such a long time coming, though, and I feel by the time I went for a solo, I felt I was pretty confident and pretty prepared, and definitely felt like I could handle it by that point.
Yeah.
But I think where the instructor, when they get out the plane for the first time, and suddenly you're by yourself on the plane, it is such a strange feeling, and you kind of
doesn't
like.
it pop up quickly? The plane pops up really fast.
Yes,
I know.
it shoots up.
Yeah,
Like, I remember being in it by myself the first time, and it was like a rocket. Like, it wanted to go straight up and launch me
Yeah, I
into
know, and
space.
it really does shock you how quick you're off the ground.
Yeah, so it was super, super quick. But I remember just thinking, like, okay, I'm by myself. Like, I don't have time to panic. I don't have time to be stressed or to worry. Like, I literally just have to sit here and fly this plane. Like, I have to fly it.
Because there's no one else but you.
Yeah.
You were doing it. You got to get this thing back on the ground safely.
Yeah, literally, you have no choice. It was pretty good, I think. I honestly had some shocking landings. Like, I had some really shocking
Haven't we all?
But I remember my first solo, I was pretty focused, I was really switched on. The weather was good for me, so yeah, I did pretty well.
And was there anyone else in the circuit?
It was actually really busy, I think, my first solo. I actually went out and there wasn't many people, and then when I came in, all of a sudden it had just got so busy, and there was planes everywhere, everyone was talking to each other on the radio, and I remember being like, this is like the busiest I've ever flown. And it was your first solo? Literally, it was like my first solo, because we thought it was going to be quiet, and then it just wasn't. And then, managed to pull it off. I'm still here in the planes.
Yeah, well done. She's done it. She flies the foxbat, right?
Yeah, the little foxbat. I love it. It's also so hard to bring out the sky when you're solo. It's super, super light, and it just wants to stay in the sky forever. Like,
it's
so
actually
hard.
really slow, the foxbat. I have been stuck behind the foxbat. I have even I've been on downwind where the foxbat is in front, and I've been on the right of it and going, is that thing even moving? I'm like, it just looks like it sits in the air. What is the stall speed on that?
The stall speed, I think, is...
It's like 35 knots or something like that.
It's really low, yeah. I can't remember exactly.
I think it's like 35 knots, isn't it? It's going so slow, and like, you're stuck behind the foxbat in the circuit. You gotta extend your circuit, right?
Yeah, I never have that problem because I'm always in the foxbat, but everyone else must get so frustrated with it.
But it's a good plane. It's a great plane to learn to fly in, because it's really easy
It's
to
just
fly.
a big glider, It's so nice. I love my little foxbat.
And what are your goals in aviation? What do you want to do?
To be honest, at first I only started flying just because I wanted to. I just wanted to fly planes. I thought it would be such a cool experience, but I didn't realize how much I would fall in love with it. And I haven't stopped thinking about it. Like, since I learned to fly, I think about it every day. All I want to do is be back in the sky. I can't wait to fly again. So I do have to go back to work, but I want to continue, do my PPL, go all the way to CPL, and I'll honestly just see where that takes me. As long as I'm in the air flying a plane, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I'm like that. I feel I'm exactly like that. As long as I'm flying, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for sharing your
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Here we are with
My name is Sabrina.
Sabrina. And Sabrina, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you fly, where you did your first solo and your first solo experience?
So I'm currently learning to fly here at Redcliffe at Advanced Aviation Training.
Yeah.
So I started out flying the Sting.
Oh, the Sting, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good one to fly. So you never flew the foxbat?
I flew it for one lesson. Yeah, I just like the setup of the Sting, I think.
Nice,
But yeah.
nice. That's a good one. And how many hours have you done in that one?
I think I did about 40 in that before hopping into the Cessna, which is what I'm doing now.
Oh my gosh, wow. So you're doing your full CPLs?
Yeah, I'm working towards my commercial, so I'm currently finishing my NABs.
Oh yes, amazing. And how's that going?
Very good, it's very good.
Have you taken your mum? Is that your mum?
No, I haven't taken her yet. but
You're
yeah.
not going to go flying? No.
I'd like to take her once I get my
Here's
PPL.
mum here. My mum was my first passenger, and I'm like, she had guts, my mum, to fly with me, because I had barely any hours. And my mum doesn't know how to fly planes, so she jumped in with me, and to this day, and that was like 8 years ago, I think she was pretty brave, right?
Yeah, I think she would trust me a lot more if I had a PPL.
Okay, you're just waiting a bit. How many hours are you at now in total?
60?
Oh, good. Yeah, amazing. That's good. And what's your end goal? Do you want to work for one of the big airlines?
Yeah, I'd like to get involved in that. I don't know, I'm very open
Yeah.
to
Oh, whatever, wherever it
Yeah.
takes you. And where was your first solo?
It was here. Yeah.
Amazing. Were you here or no?
No, I didn't even know. No, not for my solo.
First solo.
Yeah.
Tell
I
us-
didn't know I was going solo.
Oh, did you not?
Yeah.
What was it like? Were you nervous?
I was really nervous. So I remember like just landing, and then my instructor, I was with Dan, and he just got out and he didn't tell me anything.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah.
couldn't get in your head about it, which I think
No,
is the
like we
best.
landed and he was like, "Oh, we're just gonna land here," and I'm.
Oh, he's going to
okay.
jump out down here.
Lesson's done, and then he hops out. And I was like,
Amazing. And how was your landing? Did you do a good landing?
yeah, it was really good, surprisingly.
Oh, good. You did
Yeah.
like a 10 out of 10.
It was a really good one, yeah.
Good. And was there lots of people in the circuit? Was it a busy circuit?
No, I think it was me and someone else. Yeah, it was nice and
Amazing.
easy. Yeah.
And are you proud of your daughter?
Very proud,
I
very
bet. I mean, it's awesome.
Out of blue.
Yeah.
Started
Oh,
flying last
what did she just come and call you and say, "Mum, I just flew the plane on my own"? Is that?
I took a little cheeky photo up there,
Yes.
and I was like, "Oh, look who's sitting next to me."
It's an empty seat.
You didn't send it when you were in the air, though. No. You would have done it when she landed, right?
Like I had the phone open next to me, so I wasn't touching it.
Oh yeah, because there has been incidences like that.
Yeah.
My instructor had a GoPro going the whole time, so I didn't pick up my phone. But yeah, good. Quick picture.
Just setting it up on the side.
Yeah.
Forget it.
There you go. And who is going to be the first passenger?
I probably want to take my auntie Lena as my first.
Who are you going to take? Sorry.
My auntie, because my uncle was a pilot, but he
Okay.
unfortunately passed away, so I'd love to take her up.
Oh, so it's like a memory, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Flies Ansett, and he flew with Deb Lowry.
oh wow. Really? So is that how you got into aviation? Is that how you because your uncle, you said?
I heard a lot of stories from him, but I think I was also doing engineering. I wanted to get into like
Well, you-
more aviation related,
Uh-huh.
and then I took a fly.
And you're like, this
And
is
I
where I
was
want
like,
to
this
be.
is so much better.
Yeah, good on you. Well, you're young, you can do the whole anything you want, right? Amazing. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Thank you.
I should say hi, my name's Vanessa and I'm an Av Geek. Is that funny?
Yeah.
Not in this crowd. we're all.
I'd like to welcome you all here today, and thanks to Paul and Marie and the AAT team. Just a little bit about AWPA. So we've got quite a few hundred members all across Australia. And then the organisation is broken down into states. Of course, Queensland is the best state.
Not Victoria.
We've been trying to get someone to change her address. AWPA offers over $120,000 worth of scholarships to women who are flying annually. So that's closed for this year, but for those who are just hearing about that for the first time, you can have a look at it. They're usually released by the end of the year, sort of around December, and then, or actually I think in November, and then it closes on the 31st of January. So there's a whole heap of different scholarships. There's a little finder on there, so you can put in what license level you're up to, whether it's RPL, PPL, instrument rating. For helicopter pilots, you know, you can get like a gas turbine rating, IREX, so yeah, anything. There's money there. And sometimes a lot of them don't actually get awarded because there's people that don't apply for them.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's quite sad when that happens.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I encourage you all to go and have a look. So we're very proud and grateful and honoured to have Catriona here today. It's very exciting. So yeah, we'd like to welcome you and hear a little bit about your flying journey and what you've done so far. And we can't wait for you to change your address to Queensland.
Thank you, Vanessa. For someone that wasn't sure what they were going to say, I think you did a pretty good run. The most important thing is to know that AWPA exists.
Yes.
That's really the main question. Just to know there's somewhere that you can go and you can ask specific questions and you can be supported. Because certainly for me, I didn't know this entire world existed until a couple of years ago. So I'm a true newbie. And like you, I'm so grateful to Paul and Marie for connecting us today and for opening this new world to me that was never on the cards. And I just thought, well, Marie asked me to say a few things. I like to talk. I have been hosting a travel show called Getaway, and it's on Channel 9. And so I've been doing this travel show for over 30 years. And obviously I love flying because I, not intentionally, but I travel for a living and get paid for it. How cool is that? I'm amongst pilots, so you share that love, you share that adoration. The most important thing is that this was never on the cards for me, other than an absolute love of travel and flying. And my mum was her favourite job. She was actually an international Qantas hostie, but at that time, when you got married, women had to give up their jobs because they, and it was completely accepted, and context is everything, and so there's no judgment on that. But that was my mum's favourite job. My mum loved to travel, and it wasn't until I took my first lesson here, I called my mum and said what I was doing, and she said, your dad would be so proud of you because he took lessons.
Catriona Rowntree! Isn't she awesome? She's just come here and spoke at the Australian Women's Pilots Association. Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
My pleasure, my pleasure. It's just lovely to be amongst so many female pilots. All of us are complete aviation geeks. We are amongst our own. And we've had a really great day. We're inspired.
She's awesome. You know, I just want to ask you, what was your first solo like? Do you want to tell us a little bit about where were you?
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
What was the weather like?
Glorious. It was the most beautiful sunset you've ever seen, and it was just a moment that was, we're on, and my instructor got out and I never stopped talking. Surprise, surprise. I just kept on, as though my instructor was still there, I just kept on going. And then it was done. And you did what I thought I couldn't do, I finally did it.
Yeah, awesome.
Quick photo of all the girls.
Oh, that's
Very boys.
Oh, hi, my name is Vanessa. I did my instrument rating in a Duchess, and I got my passion from flying. My dad was an ag pilot, so the de Havilland Beaver that has a radial engine, and he used to have the float planes up at Cairns for a little bit, and yeah.
And where were you for your first solo? Do you remember your first solo?
Was at Archfield Airport.
Oh, yeah.
So that was good. So I was with a little flying school there, Gill Lakes Flying School.
Yeah.
And then I finished my commercial pilot's license. I was fortunate to win a scholarship with Air Services through the Women's Pilots Association. And I finished my commercial license at Royal Newcastle Aero Club. And then, finishing my instrument rating at Air Gold Coast, which are a great flying school. They're the ones that had the Duchess. So whilst I was doing my nursing paramedic degree working, I haven't kept my flying current at the moment. But I've just finished that degree, so we'll hopefully get back into some
I see. So you took a little break to do nursing. Is that another passion of yours, is it? Or?
Yes, yeah. So the long-term goal was always to work for the Royal Flying Doctors. That's why I did both flying. But then COVID, aviation, there weren't a lot of jobs, so I thought whilst I was waiting for aviation to pick up, I'd complete that degree. And
amazing. So the plan's now flying doctors?
Well, that's the long-term plan,
How wonderful is that? Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's lovely to meet you. Thank you. Right, wasn't that fun? Yes, awesome lunch, and so nice catching up with all those lady pilots and hearing about their journeys and their stories. Honestly, it was awesome, and I hope this video has inspired a lot of you that would like to become a pilot or even thinking or interested in aviation. I hope this video inspires you to get down to your local flying school and do an introductory flight, because you just never know where it'll take you.